March is a month of transitions. It is the onset of summer and it is the commencement exercises season. For me, this photo encapsulates how I picture this season. Are you familiar with this photo?
Yes.
This is the University Avenue in UP Diliman. And every summer, rows and rows of sunflowers are planted along it and are expected to bloom just in time for graduation. Every UP student looks forward to having their photos taken among these flowers on time, and of course, with a bless. Around this time, about 5 years ago, I was one of those eager graduating students looking forward to marching on time. But unfortunately, I didn't. I had to extend one summer in order to make up for my last accounting subject. Being the idealistic student that I was before, not being able to march on time, along with the majority of my batchmates, was devastating. Have you ever had a similar experience before? Since I was a child, I was trained to study under strictly competitive academic environments. As a student, I thought life has this invisible measuring stick called grades, and anyone who falls short will never make it in real life. This is the sad reality of our educational system, where we are all trained to compete against each other and be measured up using the same criteria, even though intelligence, styles of learning, and talent come in various shapes and forms. A recent research show that 83% of teens and say that school is a significant source of stress for them due to workload, competition, and pressure. Can you relate to this also?
Yes.
I do. I did. And I felt like I was one of those who were thrown into this huge pressure cooker called school and found myself emerging with zero self-esteem, pressured, stressed, and depressed. But fast forward 5 years into the present, I'm still alive, thankfully. And if ever I get the chance to talk to my younger self 5 years back, I would like to share to her 3 lessons. And this is what I'm going to tell her. Dear younger self, just like the University Avenue in summer, life is a beautiful garden, and you are a budding flower in it. And because of that, you are complete by yourself, and you don't have to compete. Being raised up in a make or break world had me thinking like I always had to prove myself, quarter by quarter, semester by semester. I always pressured myself to conform to the lofty expectations of the people around me. Because I thought that if I didn't, no one will value me. Back then, I always tied up my worth to my academic achievements. I am thankful for my failure though, and I chalked it up to experience because it made me realize that I am loved, even if I am not the top student in class. I am loved even if I have to extend months in school. I am loved for simply being me, and that I don't have to strive in order to be accepted or to earn my value. And I also learned to accept the unconditional love of those around me, of my family and friends, and most importantly, hold on to God's sincerest love for me that can embrace me even when I hit rock bottom. Let me share to you this beautiful verse. Oops, sorry. From Luke, if I may read it to you, it says, "Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And yet I say to you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothes the grass, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you?" This got me thinking that my worth is never depreciated in God's eyes. Next, my dear younger self, what I would like to share you is that success, significance, and happiness are relative. This is a lesson I already realized when I started working. Coming off fresh from school, I had to dispel the idea that I am still being measured by an invisible measuring stick vis-a-vis my peers and other colleagues. I learned that in the game of life, each of us has our own goal. And depending on that goal, we set our priorities. And then we realize our significance. And then we define our happiness. I know people who are aspiring to be CEOs and CFOs and are willing to do whatever it takes for them to climb up the corporate ladder. Well, I also know some whose priority are their family and wouldn't trade precious time with them in exchange of lucrative career opportunities that would require them to relocate somewhere. And I know also some who totally veered away from the corporate ladder and pursued career in NGOs, in being missionaries, and in being artists. And they are genuinely happy with their choice. You see, our varied career choices just show how uniquely gifted and created we are. Just like flowers, we must be able to radiate our own beauty. Because each of us has our own unique design and purpose. And last but not the least, my dear younger self, your time will come. Just like flowers, we are all set to blossom in our appointed time. That summer of 2013, I didn't march. But the following year of 2014, I finally was able to march. And I wouldn't trade that experience otherwise. It was beautiful. And it feels much more fulfilling to march when you know that you've already passed all your subjects and even the board exams. The celebration feels more rewarding because the academic battle is now completely won. So, my dear younger self, your time will come when all the desires that you are longing for will be finally fulfilled. Trust me, because 5 years into the future, you will be me, standing in front of this noble Toastmasters, sharing your story. As for now, just keep up the faith and fight. And remember this from Ecclesiastes, He has made everything beautiful in His time. So my dear ladies and gentlemen, life is a beautiful garden, complete with all the resources that you need: sunlight, air, water, and your very own space in it. Would you blossom beautifully? against all odds, and in God's perfect time. Have a blessed evening.